USA.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 59 of the XtraSlice, brought to you by the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. I can't remember the nicknames I gave everybody last week, so I'm just going to start fresh. We got the Mayor of Stardew Valley and Eorzea, Chris Montalbano.
He kept it original. You know what? I'm here to say, screw the healers adjusting. I'm a raise your ass myself.
We got the most degenerate squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
Look, I'm starting a revolution. And to do this revolution, I gotta get a lot of food.
I got the Koski Durag Madrid Devon.
Okay, sometimes you just have to name your Joker Coochie Man. Trust me.
And then, I don't know how many times you've been on the podcast at this point. I know you are one of the few rupees who's actually been on a podcast in person. We have the DC anti-hero, ThirteenCross, a.k.a. Deontay.
Rupee gang. I'm here to cause chaos.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation State of Play, Final Fantasy VII Remake, PlayStation Plus, Outriders, Final Fantasy XIV, Zombie Kills, Guilty Gear getting delayed, 4K Switches, and Pokemon. It's a real jam-packed episode this week,
it's
you know?
It's a loaded episode.
To be honest, 14 made me forget all of that shit happened.
Right, I had to remember.
Let me just say Final Fantasy as a whole made me forget all of that happened.
That sounds like good time.
Yo, I actually typed remember these notes and I forgot all about that shit.
Yeah, I had to add shit. Like, the last three were just me, looking. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, yeah, we got to talk about Guilty Gear, because... and then...
They had to delay it for the delay-based netcode, you know?
Right, they rolled back the date, you know?
They rolled it back.
I like that.
But yeah, so I didn't get to do my PlayStation Rock Block last time, so I'm just going to throw all that news in the front of this one, because I totally said I would do it, and that was the one note we never got to last week. So, the interesting things that have happened, Jim Ryan gave an interview to, I want to say GQ Magazine, where he talked about a lot of interesting things happening in the PlayStation ecosystem. So, Days Gone is coming to PC, so that's the next PlayStation first-party game finally migrating over to PC. No, dude, Days Gone just... Okay, I know people like Days Gone.
I have it. I haven't even played it.
Oh, shout out to Belle for gifting subs to pretty much everybody in the chat. Thank you. And people who aren't even in the chat. Thank you a lot, Belle.
Yo, thanks, bro. Wow.
That's pretty gangster right there.
That is extremely gangster. Right?
Anyone from Day One.
So, and we're leaving all this in. So, yeah, Days Gone's coming to PC. It's not the best PlayStation first-party title, but it is one that it's like, nobody's going to go out and buy Days Gone in 2021, so they might as well sell it to some people on PC who just, want whatever that is.
The hell of...
Yeah, they could mod the hell out of it. Yeah, that would be really interesting. The other thing they announced...
They might make it good. Because that's what I was thinking. I was maybe he might mod
could just make it good.
Well,
2B running around with his shotgun, that seems pretty lit.
Right? You got a motorcycle?
Is that your extent of what mods do?
Damn it!
Yeah, if you can put 2B in it.
Isn't that what they say in that game?
They put 2B in Resident Evil 2 because if the mods haven't done that and they put Thomas the train in it,
Tank engine?
Or tank engine, yes.
Thomas the train runner.
Yeah. I'm
Still one of
disappointed
the most
in that
fire
community.
themes of my childhood.
I mean, if Thomas isn't in a game, the mod community hasn't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, Thomas is all in GTA and stuff.
He's in Monster Hunter World. He's Nergigante in Monster Hunter World on PC. So, yeah, Days Gone's coming to PC. They announced a new PlayStation VR. They announced that they're going to keep going with it, and this one's going to only have one cable, and it's going to just be they're working on entirely new motion controllers. We haven't seen anything of it. image even of the article on the PlayStation blog that had all the information kind of consolidated down. It was just like a black image with a white PlayStation logo. But, you know, for PSVR, it's one of those things that, like, I have 2 of them, and I have the adapter to make it work on PS5, and I still don't feel like hooking up my PSVR just because it's a fucking...
Dude, like, yeah, when I came to Atlanta, you were trying to sell me one of them. Man.
Yeah, it's right there. Whoever wants it can buy that PlayStation VR right the fuck there.
I'm surprised you haven't let that shit go yet. Like,
honestly,
what am I going to do? Throw it away? Like,
just sit it outside.
You got a whole ass offer up right there.
I mean, as far as like VR goes, because I had the Quest, and I mean, I'm even trying to sell the Quest because I don't play it enough. There's not any games out there that like pique my interest to keep something worth $300.
So would you say that VR is like the gimmick that stayed too long?
Robo Recall. That game slaps.
I know. I played it and beat it, and that's all I've wanted to play. I played some like flight simulators because I was like, this seems like a cool idea. I played it, had a good time. I'm over that now. I played Super Hot because I have that. I'm over it now. There hasn't been
Beat Saber and Tetris Effect.
I've had both of, well, not Tetris Effect, but I have Beat Saber. Played it. I'm over it now. Like, there's not an influx of games that are like keeping my interest. The only reason why PlayStation VR piques my interest is one game, and that's Resident Evil 7 that came out 3 or so years ago. Just because I want to play that. But other than that, VR doesn't pique any interest.
It sounds like you just need to borrow one of Anton's VRs.
He can whenever, like, if Chris, you're welcome to it, Chris. Like, I got the camera and the VR. The only thing I don't have is the hand controllers. Like, you can't use them in Resident Evil. So,
well, would you look at that?
Would you look at that? See, like, but I don't get VR at this point because other than like some really good like Steam games that are coming out, there's nothing like.
Actually, you need to play.
It genuinely
That's
feels
what
like
you need to play, Chris. You need to play Boneworks.
It feels like the newest gimmick to live too long.
Yeah, it's fucking. What's that? Not PlayStation like, Move. What is Xbox's? What was Xbox? Connect. Yeah, it's like this should have kind of died until you figure out something better.
Right.
Well, like, and that's the thing with VR is the applications of VR outside of gaming. The problem with PSVR is it's restricted to gaming. The things that I've seen VR be able to do, even like on a phone, like if you slot a phone into, like, I have Google Cardboards back there, the applications of VR outside of just playing games, like they did a Kingdom Hearts concert that is a VR experience, and stuff like that is interesting. Yeah. Like, I know we can't do live shows right now because of the pandemic, but if I can put on a headset and have a front row seat to, like, Childish Gambino did a concert in VR.
That's different though, because like you're talking about cardboard here, and even like the Oculus Gear, which was the phone phone enabled Oculus. That was a more cost-effective alternative to experiencing this VR stuff, opposed to like the Rift and the PlayStation VR, which you have to spend hundreds of dollars on. And
well, I feel like
spending a lot of money for
you're buying a console for like.
This is the 3D all over again, pretty much.
And I feel like the Quest kind of has gotten that sweet spot down of, like, it's inside-out tracking. Like, there were all these issues that are slowly getting overcome with VR. So, PSVR is too many fucking cables. Straight up. It's just games. Like, it's no... Like, the Google Earth thing, like, that I still want to do in VR, where it's like... They have a 3D model of fucking everywhere on the entire planet, and you just put in coordinates, and it takes you into a 1-to-1 scale of fucking anywhere you want to be on the planet. Like, so PlayStation VR, too many cables, too expensive, you need other hardware. Oculus Rift, originally, you need an expensive computer, it's like all this extra stuff. HTC Vive is more expensive, needs a more powerful computer, has all of these like Gen 1 had like outside in tracking, so it's a camera pointed at you that's tracking the headset, so you need, but like the Quest has gotten to the point that it's inside out tracking. Like it has a camera on it that's like scanning the area that you're playing in so you don't run into a fucking couch.
Yeah, I just plug it in my graphics card and it works perfectly. And I got my 2 controllers, but
I feel like all of that stuff, like it's gotten to the point that you don't need external hardware for, like, we've gotten over all the major leaps. It's just a matter of, there were all these great applications up front. Like a lot of people had really good ideas going into like the big VR boom, but I don't feel like it's a gimmick. I feel like the games that have implemented VR in a way that it's like, Beat Saber would not be as good of a game if it weren't in VR. And like concerts in VR and all of these different things that they can do in VR, I feel like they need to focus more on those things, because if they had gotten the NFL to do, like, you are front and center, like you can follow the players like in VR for the entire NFL season.
Put a cam on a player, that'd be great.
Or even sitting in the like middle row, like on the front seat that you would never ever sit on, buying like in your local stadium. Like,
and oddly, like people have done that. Like sporting events used to do that shit. They'd put a 360 cam on the 50-yard line, and they let you just look around. You can look back, see the crowd. You can see most of the field and shit like that. You can see the gameplay, and it feels like they've just kind of shied away from this type of content. But I wanted to ask you guys, specifically for the PlayStation VR, and you kind of already answered this in what you were saying, but I wanted to ask everyone, what do you think it would take to make this worth it?
I actually have some words on this conversation. It's the thing with it is, part of the reason why VR still feels like a gimmick is that it's quite fragmented. So it's like, you got what PlayStation's making, you got what Oculus is making, you got all this, but we're starting to see the killer apps come back again. And this isn't like our first generation killer app where it's just like, oh, we figured out how to do some things in VR. The experiences have gotten really up there, specifically with games like Half-Life Alyx and what I'm more focused on, which is Boneworks. That game is fucking crazy and it's amazing. So if what all PlayStation needs to make this worth it is really just get an experience like that, like a really deep, handcrafted, this is for VR experience, and really advertise it. Because when was the last time we heard anything about VR from PlayStation?
Literally this week. Farpoint, which is one of the best.
I'm talking about this week.
No, I'm talking about even, this is outside of the GQ article. One of the PlayStation Plus games this month is Farpoint, which is one of the best VR shooters in existence.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's mainly my point, is that a lot of the killer apps for this gear is there. It's just that pretty much we still need to get over the hardware hurdle of the fact that, like, it was a lot of cords, it's very expensive. The new Oculus, the Quest 2 is $200 and it's everything you need.
Yeah.
Right, and so I don't see PlayStation's new headset being completely wireless. You don't need a PS5. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
The entirety of what you need for a VR package is $200 at this point.
Yeah, that's a way better deal. Because, like, VR doesn't seem like the type of thing that you want to, like, use, like, all the time. It's not like booting up a PlayStation 4, like, I'm about to go run Apex. It's like, okay, I'm off today, I've been chilling. I think I could play some VR games for a minute, and you do that like once a month.
I don't do it as regularly as I should, because a lot of these games that I do play, it'd be interesting to see.
It's not really a reason to. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, you know, like I got Farpoint. That'd be something that'd be interesting to play. It's a game that I don't have, that they gave on PlayStation Plus, that I now have in my library. I probably should hook up my PSVR to my PS5 and see, just like with the additional fidelity, I might like play some Tetris Effect base game. I might play some Res Infinite. I might play some of these experiences that I know are there, and just see how they've kind of aged. Like, I know the fucking cable hell that
PSVR does work with the PlayStation 5?
Yes. The only thing you need is an adapter for the camera, because
real quick, Quest 2 is $300 base at 64 gigs, and then $399 at 128. Just
yeah. Thanks for the clarification.
On sale the last time I saw it.
Well, that changes a lot.
Yeah, $100 is a big deal for like anybody who's not fucking rich.
One thing I will say about VR is that there's a bunch of advertisement for games that come out for PlayStation 5 and all the other consoles, and even on PC that like aren't VR, and you get a bunch of that advertisement. I don't feel like you get that for VR. And so you don't get that like feel of I need that, so I have to buy this product to play that.
And I feel like, so I get that, but as far as inside the VR circles, if today PlayStation did a PSVR spotlight of upcoming games that are coming to the current PSVR, and they showed Arizona Sunshine, there's an MMO called Zenith, I Expect You to Die 2, there's this action-adventure game, Fract, there's a survival game called Song in the Smoke, and then Doom 3 is coming to VR. Like, they highlighted these games, and as far as the VR communities, like, if you go on Reddit and go to the PSVR subreddit, it's in my opinion more active than like a Final Fantasy 14 subreddit, where it's like a lot of memes and stuff, but like there are these communities, like I feel like, yeah, out of the mainstream spotlight, because VR tried to be in the mainstream spotlight, and a lot of people just were apprehensive about it. A lot of people weren't accepting. It's expensive. Yeah, it's an expensive hobby. Gaming is an expensive hobby. Like, so.
But if it had the backing behind it, I feel like expensive would have gone out the window, just like buying a new console would have gone out. Like it would have gone out the window. Like you buying a PS5 when your PS4 still is good goes out the window.
But my PS5 has a lot more.
But they're lacking that consistency, though. It's like with PlayStation.
Exactly.
PlayStation's been trying to sell you a PS5 since the PS5's been announced.
Exactly, and everybody wants a PS5 because they've been trying to sell
because that's
PS5.
easy. That's a lot easier because it has a lineage of PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS5.
So
yeah, but everybody
wants a guy with PS5
thing. Like,
I'm not sure why I have a PS5. Like, dead ass. I really sat there and thought about it one day, and I was like, other than Bug Snacks, I really haven't PS5 anything. Right.
You played Astrobot? Oh,
I played Astro's
Playroom.
Astro's Playroom. I played Astro's Playroom, and it was a fun game. But you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
Once I played it, I played it.
I get what you're saying, Deontay. Like, 90% of the stuff that I mean, I've played more hours of PS4 games on my PS5 than I've played PS5 games. Like, I've put 120 something hours into Final Fantasy 14 that doesn't even have its PS5 version yet.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get what you're saying about that. Right now, but the reason a lot of people got a PS5 is because you had the expectation of this is going to be a next gen system, and that's why I feel like the PSVR 2 is going to do a lot better than the original PSVR, because they have the install base of the people who believed in it from the ground floor. So that's why the PS2 was so successful, because it had a lot more third-party support than the original PlayStation. Like, it had the built-in install base of all the people who use the original original PlayStation. So, like, PSVR 2 will have the install base. Like, I'm interested in it, and like,
yeah, but like, even not to just go back to PC, but like the Quest 2, the second of their shit, like. PC should just have all the games you should want for VR.
What?
Except for like a Sony's
PC
created
has all the games you want for VR that is not on PlayStation.
Yeah, right, it does. But like PlayStation signing these marketing deals,
really killing it.
They're still spending this money. Like, that's the thing. PlayStation's still spending money on getting exclusive titles locked down. And I know Facebook bought Ready at Dawn. And they used to make fucking the God of War spin-off games that were a lot stronger of titles than like most of the things on the PSP.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, VR shouldn't have exclusives. Like, literally,
it shouldn't.
Unless the tech
like VR, you're right.
Can't run the game, in which case the game just won't be on that system, you know. But like, that's just really bad for like VR people, because it's like, oh fuck, I really want to play this game, but oh, it's on that console. $300. Like,
or I shouldn't have to be able to purchase the game on two different, like, I shouldn't be able to buy Resident Evil 7 on my PC and buy Resident Evil 7 on my PS4, but I can only play the VR version on my PS4. I can't play it on my PC for some reason.
The best I can equate to this, and honestly, this is probably just the Californian in me thinking this up, but this would be like if electric cars took different charging sources.
I mean, they do. Some of them do.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, so like the new Porsche that's electric doesn't work on the Tesla supercharger network.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, like if you
if you need a charge in the middle of the day, you can't go to IKEA. You have to go to
this shit isn't readily available everywhere like gasoline is.
Right.
Like
Right. Like, I know these sources are niche, but like, that's all the more reason to pool them together.
Yeah, they need to be pulled together. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there was an MKBHD video I dropped in Tech Talk a while ago, all about these electric cars and like the decisions they're making. And as a matter of fact, I'm like sitting here trying to get but yeah, the new Porsche Taycan doesn't work on the Tesla supercharger network whatsoever.
Stupid.
So, and I mean,
I know the BMW does, because Tesla pretty much gave up their blueprints to BMW for them to make that car. I forgot what their electric car was called, but
I know. Yeah, I mean,
and also BMW had to invest a bunch of money in electric carport infrastructure after they were caught cheating on their emissions tests.
Yes, that is correct.
I mean, okay, so we can move away from the VR topic. I feel like we could do a whole like state of VR conversation as like a really supplemental content, because I mean, we've been talking for like 25 minutes,
right?
Just about VR and like the applications and stuff. Just continuing on the PlayStation rock block of news. Right now, every single
having to run a podcast. This is fun being.
Yeah, bro, we're enjoying having you. You've been bringing some insight, like Rupee Gang. Like, there's a reason we having all of y'all on here, because y'all just y'all bring the heat.
The vibes here are amazing.
Yeah, you know, cheesy boys in the building. Rusty Rupees, Cheesy Controller Squad Sessions. It's a big family. We all love each other here.
We are the family right now. We're a crew. We're pretty much like, I see us like the Dungeon family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have the Dungeon family, and within the Dungeon family, you got Outcast, you got Goody Mob. You know what I mean?
But yeah. So, staying in the PlayStation Rock Block that I didn't get to cover last week, and I mean, we still have all this other content to talk about, but even every PS4 and PS5 owner right now, regardless of whether or not you have PlayStation Plus, can get 2016's Ratchet & Clank completely 100% free and play that game. It's a good quality game. Even if you claimed it through PlayStation Plus when it was a free PlayStation Plus game, you should go claim it again, because when your PlayStation Plus lapses, all the games you got for free through PlayStation Plus you don't have access to. But I went back in and reclaimed this game because it's just I want it to be a permanent part of my library.
That game is so
first beat. As far as a free game?
No, this isn't part of PlayStation Plus. This is Play at Home, which
Play at Home.
Yeah, and so last time I want to say they did Journey and something else, but they were games that had been on PlayStation Plus, but they were high quality games that is just because we're in a pandemic and everybody's stuck at home, they're giving you just straight up free fucking games to occupy yourself with. So if you missed it on PlayStation Plus and you have PlayStation Plus, if you don't have PlayStation Plus and there are kids around, or you have people who are into 3D platformers, there are so many applications of this game in particular.
Game is so fucking good,
and it's just fucking free.
It in 2 days,
and it's just fucking free for everybody with the PS4 or PS5 right now.
Listen, Chris,
it's
you're also
comedic.
A monster. Let's not understate this. You're a fucking monster. You don't flex a lot, but you're a fucking monster, dude.
Resident Evil champ.
I was watching that Resident Evil stream. You don't understand, and the whole time, because I was in Atlanta, I had to look at you in the face shortly after that. I was like,
to look at you after that.
He really did that.
He really did that.
The problem was that was my worst speed run of that week.
I was still impressed.
It was, wasn't it?
It was my. I was
that's my worst work. I'm over here
you an hour that week, and I was like, oh yeah, I got this, and then I went 1:15, and I was like, that's not my best this week. And then still beat him by 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's
come on. Okay, so aside the fact, I love Ratchet and Clank, and I will do everything to platinum Ratchet and Clank, but that game is so amazing. You get it for free. It's comedic. You played it on PlayStation 2 if you had a PlayStation before.
Will you find a PlayStation 5 so that you can get the new Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah, because Ripped Apart looks really good. Or Rift Apart.
I got my taxes in today, and I'm really struggling not to just do that.
I mean, if you can do it, brother, I can't find. If it's for Ratchet, I can't find much of a reason for you not to.
I really want to just disconnect all of my cameras that I got outside of my house for 5 minutes. Bring in my PS5 and put it in my office and hide it and connect it into my TV and let my girlfriend not know that I ever bought a PS5. And then
hey, what's that big tower that's just in
It's a tower. It's our new router.
It's a router.
That's a new router. Yes.
It's a new. It's an air circulation unit.
Yeah,
it's a office warmer.
Yeah, that's one of those decisions.
It's a new humidifier. That's all it is.
There you go.
As you're being, you have to look in yourself in the mirror and just be like, "I'm going to die one day."
I mean,
what? I'm not.
You don't know when
fuck
it's
it.
gonna
You don't know what's going to happen.
gonna
You don't know when it's going to happen. You just know that you need to experience the PlayStation 5 before it happens.
I do.
He experienced it, and that's what
I
really.
did.
He came to my house, and we were both masked up.
Playing your friend's system is one thing, but holding your system, like that moment where you open it out of the box and shit, and you plug it in, it's like,
Stop it! No,
oh my,
shut up right now! You stop talking.
It's like changing your baby's diaper for.
Bro, I can just see Deontay just holding the console.
No, I caressed my console. I walked around the house like this,
in contact,
just holding it in my fucking chest, and I was showing everybody. And I was like, "Hey, look at my console."
Yeah, I barely touched mine. Like, I took it out the box, just held it by the white part, lifted it over my monitor, and just sat it down, plugged everything up, and have not touched it since.
My PS5
never going to touch you
if I held it any longer.
Well, I need to vacuum it out because it sucked up all the dust behind my monitors. So, like,
one thing I do have to say. So I have a love-hate with both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X designs, like for different reasons, completely different reasons. I have a love-hate with them. But I noticed since I have both, and they're standing right next to each other, which isn't something I did with the last consoles. I had them, like, my consoles stand on top of tower speakers in my room because I like to annoy my neighbors with music. But for this generation, I moved them both on the same tower speaker, and they look so much better together than they do
apart.
Like, stylistically, they look so good.
Every time I've seen a picture of them together.
Oh man, it's sexy.
Yeah, I still want a Series X. I'm gonna wait like a considerable amount of time, but
I've been telling everybody to wait. There's no real reason to grab one right now if you have an Xbox.
I feel like there's no real reason to grab any new.
Yeah, and that's what fucking sucks, honestly. Unless you're really trying to play Bugsnax.
Oh,
I won't diss Bugsnax. I won't diss Bugsnax because I platinumed that
a good time.
And I had so much fun playing Bugsnax. I initially started playing Bugsnax as a joke, but I ended up fucking loving that game, dude.
Yeah,
it's so weird, but like I fell in love with the characters. Their personalities are all there. The voice talent in that game is amazing. Like, they have like the voice of Spider-Man and the voice of Sonic in that bitch. So I'm like,
and Ryuji.
This is great. They have the voice of the Hulk in there, who's also Soldier 76. What's his name? Fred Tatasciore, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in that game, and he's great.
Neither.
Like, you know, I'm a voice acting dork.
I don't know who Soldier 76 even is.
Yeah, it's the same voice as the Hulk in literally everything animated.
Marvel makes animated things? No idea.
Had no clue. It's all live action as far as we're concerned.
I remember some old X-Men shows; those were dope.
No, the Spider-Man cartoons were flames. What do you talk about? Spectacular Spider-Man is the shit.
Spectacular Spider-Man is probably one of the best.
Spectacular Spider-Man is amazing.
No,
there's a new
Spider-Man is probably one of the best cartoon superhero Spider-Man, cartoon superhero cartoons in existence. So
fuck a transition. We got to talk about these March PlayStation Plus games. We were on this PlayStation Rock Block that I thought would be like, 5 minutes. It's been 35 minutes.
Have a guess. You actually
but honestly,
expect
it wasn't even my fault this time.
The news in a reasonable amount of time when we have a guest.
See, this is what happens when you leave out the Rock Block from last week and stitch it into this week.
See, now
we're gonna have to roll the story over next week.
No, well, look.
14.
So we've talked 14 every fucking week. Most of the rupees don't even play 14.
Not news either with you guys. It's just what you guys have been doing.
Well, I try and do news. It just doesn't work that well,
And that's why, honestly, the chaos of the. I've been trying to explain this to Darren.
That was our regular
the chaos.
We're not even doing XtraSlice anymore.
Like, these people aren't coming to us for fucking the latest. They're coming to us for our takes on the latest. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Right, and I mean,
stay for it.
But we were talking about Spider-Man cartoons.
They love going out every week.
Wait, Anton, do you not remember the tangents we used to fucking go on? They were worse than that.
Dude, it's crazy.
That was why we started the XtraSlice, because it was like the tangents got too powerful, and me and Madrid were like, we gotta talk about news. Let's start up this XtraSlice. Then the pandemic hit, and then now it's just...
I'm niggas starting tangents.
It's the XtraSlice tangent room. Like, I'm with it. You guys brought me to the right space. Nobody say Kingdom Hearts, because I'm about to talk.
No. Kingdom Hearts is a current... Like, so, we might... No?
Did you guys already talk about FF? No?
No. But we can transition from this next story. So the monthly games for PlayStation Plus are out for the month of March. We got Farpoint on PS4, Remnant from the Ashes on PS4, Manquette, which is like a puzzle game for PS5, and then we got Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4, but that version you cannot upgrade to the PS5 version. So if you have PlayStation Plus...
You're telling me I can play Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 already?
Yes, right now, for free. Yeah. Go ahead and download it, Chris.
Hell motherfucking
do it, man. And it's a fucking good time.
I'm not pretending like I'm not doing that right now.
So apparently, and we haven't really talked about it yet.
Good on you, fam.
But there is DLC coming for FF7 Remake.
Yeah, that's one of the news stories. Go ahead, Deontay. Break it down for the people.
That Yuffie DLC is PS5 exclusive.
Is it
okay?
DLC?
Hold on. All right.
Yes.
So actually, shouts out to Amram Trashboat. He said this best. Like, it's a shame that game is locked behind a $500 paywall.
Man,
it
right?
Is. That is
no, not game. Excuse me, DLC.
DLC.
It's a shame that fucking DLC is locked behind a. Like, I couldn't even get hype when I saw that trailer. As soon as they hit me with the PlayStation 5 exclusive, I'm like, well, go fuck yourself then.
Yo, like, I have a PS5, but I felt it because, like, that position is a shitty position to be in, especially because we're a couple of months off the launch of these consoles, and they're super fucking hard to get, even right now. So there are people who even just genuinely want to get one who can't get one.
Yeah.
It's the shit that's coming out.
If it was any more convenient to get a PS5, I would have one.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
It's such a weird thing. Like, as excited as I am about that, that is that one element of it that's kind of bringing me down, though. That I can't come to the chat and everybody's experiencing the shit at the same time because of the $500 paywall.
Right. Well, minimum 400 and then maximum
if you can get
2,000.
Those are harder to get than the fucking disc ones. Like, okay, don't scab on it. But
two out of the five of us have PS5s,
and honestly, and this once again comes to a stylistic thing. I want the digital because it's symmetrical and it looks like this thing looks weird. It looks weird.
Yeah, I don't see mine like. I've talked about this on the podcast before. I see literally the bottom inch of my PS5, like when I look below my monitor. But and because it's digital, I'm never taking discs out or putting discs in. And I
don't use discs anyway, so I have this shit for no reason. And I have
you paid $100 extra.
I have an Xbox Series X, which should fucking play the Blu-rays I want to play if I really want to play a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I play them on my Xbox One S in my bedroom.
You know, yeah, and I still have my 1S. I have my Project Scorpio edition, so...
Well, that's a 1X.
Or my 1X, I'm sorry.
I know. Right, yeah.
I made a mistake.
My
mistake. I was a few $100 off.
Oh, jeez.
But, yeah,
wait, this was funny?
So Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's getting a PS5 free upgrade for anybody who bought it not through PlayStation Plus. So like it's a free upgrade for people like me who bought it digitally, or people who bought it physically and have a physical PS5 is getting a free upgrade where they've been the more side by sides of scenes from the PS4 versus PS5 version come out, is the more you see like anti-aliasing, like a lot of these things that
I need those skyboxes to look better.
Yeah, they improved textures. I think they showed the door that looked like garbage.
The door that looked like garbage is fine, but I came to one point, I forgot what chapter it was in the game, but I was in, like, it was almost sunset, and I was looking at the skybox, and I was close to that one place that has avalanche on the wall, just really in really big red letters. I think you all found it. And I turned around and that skybox looked like fucking bridge. And I'm like, yo, Destiny 1 did a better skybox than this in the fucking
nobody does skyboxes like Destiny. Destiny is skyboxes the video game, alright? They're literally in the newest expansion. They have you walk like on this tiny ledge past one of those pyramid ships, and it's just a fucking... The only reason you're there is to look at the skybox.
Right. Hey,
you can't compare...
You actually see the Shadow Keep? You're just like, yeah, look at this Mordor-ass looking towers over here. Shit.
But yo, like, even the way the skybox felt like a picture. Like, you can tell it was a picture, and it looked like a fucking painting. And I was getting pissed off the more I looked at it, because
it's straight up the one from the original. Like,
yeah, you had this beautiful game that was kind of surrounded by like half-assedness. I know that's not a word, but that's what I was feeling from it. I just need that shit to be tightened up, because otherwise, I have very few complaints about this game. But
I mean, there's also that whole, every time you're going down a hallway thing, or like, all right, activate this crane. And it's like, hold down on the button, and it's like you're loading. You're fucking loading.
You're loading. Yeah.
You put this button here to make me think that you're not.
There's
loading.
a crafty loading.
You're struggling right now.
The first game I've seen with crafty loading screens, throwing back to the PS2 era, was Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and they did this thing. The whole gimmick of the game was that there were quote unquote no loading screens, and the whole thing was supposed to take place in Santa Monica, but they had you go through these tunnels to go through the next area, and it was switched to a security cam, and that security cam was the loading screen. It was so it was really slow, shitty angles. It was literally putting out the least they can do. And ever since that, I've been kind of trying to pinpoint these fake loading screens in games.
I mean, anytime you have to squeeze into a tunnel or slide or crawl through a ledge or anything that like forces
or ride an elevator.
Yeah, like
don't forget your elevators.
Same thing with Evangelion elevators.
Final Fantasy VII. Literally every time you had to squeeze between something, that was the loading screen.
It was so much of that shit too.
And I'm wondering what they're going to do, because sometimes there was exposition happening when you were squeezing through that crevice.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
exposition can happen at any moment, though. Because
that was like
you can do plenty of shit, and Barrett can sit there and yell at you.
Yeah,
like
so they would.
So that's it.
First, and then load the setting when you're going through the squeeze.
Cloud, the Earth is crying.
Shout out to Uncle John for just...
It's not my problem.
Yeah, shout out Uncle John. I know he hasn't been on our podcast, but
Yo, he will be.
His performance on the Rusty Rupees has endeared him as a voice actor to me personally, so...
Y'all are...
Yeah. He didn't know that, like, y'all weren't his only nephews from that point forward.
Yeah.
Hey, we know you don't know, but Uncle John.
You've never heard about us, but we fucks with you.
You don't know got a whole ass other wing of family out here.
Right, tell them to come to Atlanta. Like, I got vaccinated. I'll wear a mask. I got stylish masks.
Uncle John will be back on his grind. That dude, like, even when he was at PAX East with Darren, he's like, oh yeah, I gotta leave. I gotta go to Seattle in the morning, but I'll be back later. And like, it's like, oh shit, all right.
Gang.
Like, he gets it in. that man works. And like once we met him, I started looking his history and shit like that. It's just the stuff he's been in, and like,
yeah, that episode when you guys were losing your fucking mind looking at his IMDb, because I think like Justin looked at the wrong IMDb.
Yeah, he looked at the
and like he's like he looked at the wrong John Bentley's fucking IMDb.
Right. So like he was in what's that Nickelodeon show? It's a Nickelodeon kid show with the superheroes. Lab Rats? No, that's Disney Channel.
Up in the way.
So Lab Rats, a show on Lab Rats. He plays the president on it. And I didn't know until this kid in my living room was watching Lab Rats. I was walking through the living room and I just turned to the right and I was like, "Yo, that's Uncle John." The kid's like, "What?" like, no, I know him.
He was in Ninjala. Like he has 184 credits on IMDb.
Dude,
so just like scrolling through this shit, he was in
if you've ever seen
Saints Row 4, Grand Theft Auto 5,
right?
Ghost Recon Future
Iron Man,
Soldier,
Rise of Technovore. He's Nick Fury.
He was in Infamous too.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! This dude has been in some shit.
He's in
Infamous 1 and 2, Spider-Man Web of Shadows. I'm getting us off track now at this point. PlayStation Plus games. Claim them if you have PlayStation Plus. You never know when you're going to want to play these games. We got Final Fantasy VII Remake, Farpoint, Remnant from the Ashes, and Maquette.
Yo, we playing Remnant from the Ashes? What's good?
Do it, baby. Those are some big games.
Yeah, we're doing it. Fuck it.
Okay, I added to my library. I have every PlayStation Plus game that has been part of PlayStation Plus literally since the very beginning. Because I fucking got PlayStation Plus before, like, back on PS3. So I've just been claiming PlayStation Plus games for fucking, like, over a decade at this point. And, you know, certain things like Rocket League. I know Rocket League's gone free to play, but I claimed Rocket League, had no interest in it, then like downloaded it and got Chris into Rocket League because of a game I got for free from PlayStation Plus. So
talk about Rocket League.
Okay, we'll move on.
Makes you feel differently about the games you love.
Right, that's why I'm not doing PvP in Final Fantasy 14.
We could definitely do PvP.
No, Chris, we're not doing fucking
There's so much cool ass
that
gear
PvP
behind
set is kind of tight
PvP,
though. That PvP set is kind of tight though.
So Pokemon,
fucking tight though.
I'm down for it.
Pokemon had its 25th anniversary in the last week. They had a Post Malone concert that was one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, the Travis Scott concert in Fortnite was cool, but this Post Malone Pokemon concert was one of just the most bizarre fucking things I've ever fucking watched.
Where he
ever.
That shit looked mad fucking awkward.
Yeah,
It was awkward?
That shit looked awkward. It was really weird.
It's weird. Like, there were parts of it that were awkward, but like Travis Scott singing Fortnite felt like a thing. This fucking Post Malone concert was just
and
yeah.
Like, I had to struggle to think about the connection. I was like, oh yeah, Post Malone gained a whole new group of fans with the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack and Sunflower. But
apparently he's just a Pokemon fan, which, you know, I can't be mad at him.
But you know what? Ariana Grande is also a Pokemon fan, and she would have fit way better.
Did you see that her fucking wedding ring is a Diamond and Pearl remake reference?
Ring. I tweeted her about it. She didn't fucking respond, but I'm like, I see you out here with the Pokemon reference.
Well, I mean, Post Malone's 25, so
Oh, fuck.
Not to get.
He looks 37.
He doesn't look 37.
He looks 37.
He looks 25 who made a bad...
Lil Uzi Vert and
bunch
Justin
of
Bieber are both older than Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone looks like he just made a bunch of mistakes.
Post Malone
looks
with
looks like he methed up his life a little bit.
Got him!
God damn.
Madrid was not ready for that one.
Yo, was that a Pokemon reference? Because that was that was
No.
But yeah, so Pokemon, we're getting Diamond and Pearl remakes, Shining Diamond and Sparkling
It's
Pearl.
not Shining Diamond.
It's
They
Brilliant
fucked up by
Diamond.
not making it
Brilliant Diamond.
It's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
We all know it was supposed to be Crazy Diamond.
Crazy Diamond.
But and then we got Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is like the Breath of the Wildization of Pokemon.
Stop, we have to that. We too. Like, I'm sorry, I feel really passionate about this. We have to start calling shit Breath of the Wild, and we like, and also
It's an open world. Like, here's the thing: we've been asking for an open world Pokemon game for like.
Okay, the thing we can't compare it to Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild had so many fucking systems layered upon systems because they took care into making that game.
Right, we're not getting any of that.
No.
Us with like a year and a half of fucking development, and fans are gonna be pissed off. It's probably gonna end up getting delayed due to COVID, even though it hasn't gotten a release date.
We got a release year, so if it doesn't drop 2022,
Technically got a window.
And also, I like please y'all don't get too like it's not about to be open world. It's not gonna be what y'all want. It's gonna be open world.
it's already what I want. They
That whole
fucking
game is the Wildlands. You tripping? Like that's
yeah,
that's
and
what
I mean
mean.
the wild area that was. I said that was what I wanted of like a whole game where the game's just the wild area from Sword
Are
and
you
Shield.
satisfied with the wild area that we got?
I feel like it's gonna be.
It got better in the DLCs.
But it's not
Yeah,
gonna
it
be
did.
what you want.
I
know
was
what I'm
impressed by the wild area in the DLC. Deadass.
What?
I was impressed. Yeah.
Right.
Just-
So yeah, I mean, even like the wild area is not a fucking 10 out of 10 game, but if all I said was if you make a whole Pokemon mainline game that everywhere is the wild area and your Pokemon are roaming around and all of this shit that they tested out in Sword and Shield, like there's so much about this game that is appealing to me. Like I was gonna play it regardless. It could have been fucking the Diamond and Pearl remakes are gonna be the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I'm gonna fucking play those. And
Are
I
those really remakes or are they remasters?
they're remakes.
So from what I hear is they're by a different team. So
yeah, they're not by core Game Freak. Game Freak's working on Legends Arceus right now.
No,
So
like
this
that's
aspect
pretty
of
good.
changing around shit within the story, like the last remakes have done, probably won't be there.
Remember, technically
Right.
there were two
This would be
timelines.
more of a remaster because it just seems like they're upresing the like they're changing the art style and just like besides that everything's gonna
But
be
that's
the same.
fine. Like Diamond and Pearl on its
I'm just
own
saying,
merits.
It's a
Omega
remaster.
Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were like the end game for those games were completely different.
Or yeah.
Remake.
Or I'm just a Gen 3 stan, so like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, like
This is
are my
Gen
favorite
4.
fucking. What? Yeah, I'm talking about Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
I wasn't that impressed with Gen 4, honestly, and I had to. It took me like probably a couple of hours after the trailer to sit there and think about it. Like, yo, Gen 3 and Gen 5, I loved.
Gen 5.
I did.
I
Gen
slander
5
Gen 5 at every chance I
Gen
fucking
5's
get.
Pokemon were ass. I liked its story more than anything.
Yeah, it did have it had a stronger story than any other Pokemon, but as far as like
Except
Pokemon
for Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness.
Do we count those?
yeah, we do.
you don't.
Hey,
We do around here.
Those are so strong on their own. I feel like they're in another category. Like, you know, the other Pokemon games stand different. Like, oh, yeah.
All right, shout out.
Like I can
to you.
still hear Major B's theme from XD from Coliseum. Oh
Right.
man.
Those were
Like
like if we get a little more of that flavor, and that's kind of what I'm hoping this Pokemon
That's what we really need. The
the
stadium
Arceus
games back.
game.
That's
It's
what
like
we
I need Pokemon to take a risk like they did back in the day.
I feel like Arceus is the biggest risk they've taken since pre 3DS. So you know,
they did take a risk
with Go
on Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Let's Go
And I'm real disappointed we didn't get Let's Go Cyndaquil / Chikorita / Totodile, because that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to Let's Go Johto and
bigger risk with Sun and Moon by like just abolishing the gym system.
Did they though?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that was a huge risk, but
they came out with a good story though.
The game.
It made me like it a little bit better, but it still kind of functions somewhat the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did. It just it functioned a little different, but the core of it all was the same as every other.
It replaced gym leaders.
It was also It was a main story, like a main series game, as opposed to which is like a spin-offy reboot.
Yeah.
You can tell that was just
Let's Go really did was just combined Pokemon Go with a mainline title.
I mean, Let's Go really told the timeline of Red in the
third-person perspective,
in the multiverse that is the Mega Evolutions, because you didn't know what Red was really like in the beginning of the Mega Evolution. So here is his
so this
story.
is Red from the Mega timeline.
That's what
the anime, this is. I mean,
that's what the anime
Let's Go
Pokemon Origins was though.
Yeah, but that's
that's the thing about it. That's actually the anime Pokemon Origins is in the non-Mega timeline. That's from the original timeline where the war didn't happen. They never pressed the button, and there's no Megas.
Are you sure? Because
the Origins.
Yeah, all that was established.
The end of Origins. Hold on. Origins is a timeline all by its own. The only reason why you know that is because Ash or Red didn't beat the fucking not Rocket League.
Your mind's on the thing.
Yeah, my mind's on the thing. The villains of all of the Pokemon. Team Rocket, there we go. He didn't beat Team Rocket in that one. So Origins is a timeline all by itself.
So
but Let's Go is the beginning timeline of the Mega Evolution to go into Red's origin story in video game aspect.
So that makes sense, honestly. Because I didn't notice that difference. I didn't notice that difference. Good call. I'm on the right fucking podcast. This is like, swear to God, even on my home podcast,
DPSQs and 14 literally fall into all of these. I literally watch YouTube while waiting for DPSQs.
I start talking about timeline shit on the Rupees podcast, and all three eyes just blaze over. Like, it's it fucking sucks. Like, I've tried to talk about I think it was recently I talked about the Pokemon timeline and the fact that certain games take place at the exact same time, like how Red, Blue, and Green and Ruby and Sapphire take place at the same time.
Yeah.
And these guys are all like,
and then Gold and Silver takes place after that. And I don't know what you guys covered. I just really had to pee for that part.
I mean, you know that by going, when you're in Gold and Silver, you
radio
go
tower.
to Red.
It's Lavender's creepy ghost cemetery is now a radio tower.
Well, also, you go to Red's old mom's house, and she's like, yeah, I haven't heard of my son in like 3 years. And then you find him up in the mountains, just like, yo, what's up?
You know, I'm
like, yo, talk to your mom. I'm gonna beat your ass for not doing that.
Right. I'm so glad that Sun and Moon showed Red and like healthy, because I was worried about Red.
You were on vacation together?
They like
pretty
much.
My guy spent 3 years on a mountain just tripping. And some kid just comes and whoops his ass.
Yo, and I guess that you gotta go on a mountain and do a lot of
Yo, I'd be so pissed.
Right. Nah, you know what? When you're freed from Twitch Plays Pokemon Red, you would accept that L too.
I mean, and the fact that he shows up every time you beat the Elite Four again, that he's like, all right, maybe he wants to smoke and I got him this time. No, Red, you don't. I beat you the first time. Go and fuck yourself.
I'm you. It's like
I'm the Pokemon master now.
Just because this man has an actual name, Gold, aka Ethan, needs to appear more.
I want.
I thought
he
at the
just
beginning
disappears.
I want Orlando.
Pokemon movie that came out a few years ago, and in the opening credits, he was battling somebody, and I was like, "Yo, Ethan!" And like the motherfucker from Gen 4 was in the audience, just cheering on with his little French hat.
Yeah. Angelina and I have been watching the Pokemon movies, so like I've gotten Angelina to watch the first 4 Pokemon movies now, and like it's just so I have so much of a greater appreciation.
You've got her on the decline, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, Pokemon Heroes is a good movie.
It's okay. But
but that was
where can
during
you
the
go
beginning
from-
of the direct-to-DVD era with every
Right.
Pokemon.
No, they didn't start that.
Right.
Hold on, let me look at the fucking DVDs.
The first two had theatrical releases. You had Pokemon the movie and Pokemon 2000, and then after that, it was like VHS, then DVD.
No, I feel like
straight to
Pokemon. No, because didn't we see Destiny
the
Deoxys?
Pokemon the movie 3
No,
definitely went to
Deoxys.
theaters.
No, Anton, you're thinking of the Pokemon Rocks America thing that we went to when that came out.
Oh, did you see my tweet
That was
about
a
that?
separate.
I don't think the movie.
I was like, it was one of those you had to be there things on Twitter. I did the Deoxys event. I was like, you had to be there.
When Pokemon rocked America.
Pokemon did rock fucking America. But yeah.
That doesn't count. That's like when over here when Emeryville's AMC was showing the Japanese Death Note new movie for like 2 weeks.
Apparently, Demon Slayer was in theaters in Miami for like a week last week.
Yeah, so certain theaters will do that with foreign films, but it'll be like a limited special release or something.
Yeah, like I remember I saw the first Bleach movie in theaters. It was like 2 days that it was available, and I got tickets for that. The first two, the first two Naruto movies. Even the My Hero movies, both of those have been limited releases, but I saw both of those in theaters.
While we're on live action remakes, as critical as I am about Bleach, I was surprised by how much I liked that live action Bleach movie.
I refuse to watch it. Anything that I like, I will not watch a live action adaptation.
Because I'm heavy on the idea that Bleach should have ended at Aizen. But I went into this already watching.
Yes.
Yeah. If Bleach ended at Aizen,
I don't know.
No, so it had good shit.
I feel like
afterwards.
if they went straight from Aizen into the Quincy shit into 1,000-Year Blood Arc, that would have been flames.
So
that's how I feel.
My whole thing about Bleach is, if it had ended at Aizen, I would call it the perfect anime. I would.
I go away for 2 seconds and I come back and it's Bleach somehow.
Yeah, it's Bleach. We were talking about like, live action shit.
Yo,
but
Bleach is getting a lot
the
of
live
love.
action Bleach. It's like the live action Bleach movie I actually liked, and surprisingly, the fucking live action Alchemist movie I didn't hate. Like,
I can't do it to myself. Like
I watched
The
the
Full
Bleach
Metal
one.
Alchemist
The Bleach
one
one
is
was
not
solid.
good.
The Bleach one was solid. I heard Full Metal Alchemist was dog shit.
So I
Full
didn't
Metal
hate
Alchemist
it.
wet. The one that's actually good is the Rurouni Kenshin one. That is actually.
what about the Attack on Titan
That's
ones?
good.
No,
Does
thanks.
anybody know?
No, Attack on Titan one legitimately replaced characters. Like they.
I'm not gonna
created
watch
an
any of these.
for-
I just had to.
No,
I had to think of an
Attack on
anime
Titan
that had a
one
live
create-
action.
Like they removed Eli and they created their own character as a stand-in for Eli. And it
Levi?
didn't make any sense. Or my bad, Levi. I've been
I was like, the book of Eli?
Eli. It was
Shout
one
out
of them.
Gary Whitta. Gang.
Thank you, Anton, for knowing what I was
Just like
talking about.
Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah, I'm an
Yeah.
Attack on Titan stan,
But yeah,
especially
Levi,
with
they needed
being
a
a
solid
warrior.
Levi, and I think they totally dropped the ball on that. They created a new character to stand in for that role, and there's no reason why it couldn't have been Levi. But
That's already an L. They were like, we can't like do this shit that Levi does.
it wasn't as bad
We
as
can't put that in this movie.
it wasn't as bad as either live action Death Note. I can say that.
All
I
right,
said either, and I'm counting both the Japanese and American. Is that American one?
I know.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
oof.
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 Like I love Lakeith Stanfield, but bro, you took an L on that.
I see what you did there.
All right, so we talked about there was a PlayStation State of Play. We did a watch along. Just come watch us watch along. I sent that video off to Alana. I don't know if we gave her any instruction of what to do about it, but she got the video file. We talked Final Fantasy VII Remake is getting a PS5 version, Yuffie DLC. We did my PlayStation Rock Block. Outriders. You guys played the Outriders demo?
I was a rock.
He was a rock. And I was Dio.
Like a rock. He was like
That's
Dio.
a good song.
It is, man.
This man Chris is taking a whole ass shot.
I can't hear the Like a Rock song without thinking about a truck. Like that's so cemented in my head for truck.
That's what I pictured when you started talking about it.
Now.
So, like a rock.
You live in Georgia. Everybody drives
over some rough terrain.
Goddamn, driving over some rough terrain, some mud, trees.
Canyonero.
I mean, if you live in Atlanta, it's all truck terrain.
So what?
Flying the Trump flag.
What y'all do with the Outriders demo? Because I just downloaded it.
Okay, so the game feels it like when you start playing. It starts off real slow. Like the demo starts off real fucking slow.
It's like they want you to care about space colonization. Like, do you want to be a space racist? Because that's what you are.
Right.
And
what people are saying is like it's trying real hard to be Mass Effect.
This is why every good sci-fi has a galactic confederation or a galactic federation.
Outside of actual action,
there's no galactic
trying to be Mass Effect. But when you're in gameplay, it's Destiny and Gears of War had a baby. But not the good Gears of War, it's Gears of War Judgment had a baby. And this is because it's made by people who made Gears of War Judgment. And it's like they've wanted to make this game forever. You can feel that they wanted to make this game forever.
Wait, if this is made by People Can Fly, is it in third person or first person?
Third person.
This is People Who Can Fly.
Mm-hmm.
They do third person.
Don't they make it first?
They did. So I know you're thinking Bulletstorm. They did Bulletstorm, but that was like their first game. That was first person. But then after that, they did Gears Judgment. Yeah. And that was third. And so.
Yeah, I could tell it felt like Gears when like the first time that I'm like behind cover, and then I'm like,
these are the people who made Painkiller though. Painkiller. Like.
God. Right, like
got a whole ass
the shooting. The gameplay isn't terrible. Like it's a solid game for sure. Like the demo just doesn't open up until you get your powers, and then you start playing with your friends. Like when I was playing by myself, it was one thing, but when I ran, like when me and Deontay started running, it was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
all right, I'm seeing this. Like you're unlocking more abilities and shit. They're dropping loot that you ultimately don't give a fuck about. The story was nah. But the powers are okay. But for me, it's not enough to get me to like copy it or play it.
No,
it's like
that's not at that price. That needs to be
good roadmap.
$20. That's a $20 game, honestly. And I'm not just being mean.
I'll give it 35 with like the bells and whistles, you know, not like the base version.
Yeah, no, base version definitely dub. But
or hell, even if it was a PlayStation Plus game for a month or like a Xbox game, it could get some legs behind it. But they would also have to drop a good detailed roadmap and stick to it. And
because
are they going to do that?
As it is, I'm not sold. You know what I mean? Like it's trying too hard. It has elements of Destiny, but it seems much smaller, less interesting. So that's definitely a disservice to the game. But it's also a cover-based shooter on top of having these elemental-based abilities. So that's a weird combination that you think, in theory, should work well, but in practice, it's messy as fuck.
Yeah, so like you can tell they're still kind of smoothing it out, but they've even I know they said that they don't really want you to use the cover like that. They want you to go in there and be aggressive. That's why like a lot of your abilities will heal.
And that's what I feel like is kind of holding it back, just because the shooting mechanics are kind of based around the cover, but your abilities aren't. So I was a tank character with the rock ability, And that really put me in a position of having to choose which role at which point I would play it. I can go in there and tank for a short period of time, albeit because once my abilities are on cooldown, and I only had 2 abilities at the time. Actually 3 abilities, but 2 of them were attack based, and only 1 of them was a real tank ability. It forced me to always retreat back to cover, and that in gameplay, like I relied more on you than you did on me, which shouldn't have been the case considering I was a tank.
Yeah, I was out there killing. Like the time stop ability is kind of that shit.
The time stop ability is fucking, it's nasty. So I feel like this is a game that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, like it really needs to lean into like more of the like that magical shooter aspect.
Yeah,
and kind of I don't know. I feel like they're using the cover as a cover,
Yeah.
Go ahead, rip that bandage off.
It's like I understand the idea that the cover is just an afterthought, but it became too necessary too often for me to be an afterthought.
Right. Maybe, who knows? Maybe with better gear and abilities, it runs better.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that would require us playing more to see, and I don't have to play more.
Very little interest.
I'm going to give it a try just because, like, I liked Bulletstorm a lot. But, I doubt this is going to be, like...
It's even better with 3 people, because it was just the 2 of us. And
yeah,
I'll give it a shot.
2021 is fucking stacked as it is. So, like, I'm not about to go out here and, like, drop 60.
Monster Hunter and everything else is coming out.
Yeah,
like,
fucking Monster Hunter this month.
It did get pushed back.
I don't know if you were trying to... Yeah, I was about to say... Shit, Madrid stole my transition from me. But yeah, Guilty Gear, which was supposed to be coming out in April, is now coming out June 11th.
Wow, that's my birthday.
So, are you going to be playing Guilty Gear Strive with us on your birthday, Deontay?
My birthday? I don't know. Loki also comes out on Disney Plus on that day, so...
well, we could play some Guilty Gear. Fucking watch Loki.
I got a stacked day.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Right.
That sounds like a good ass birthday. If fucking Guilty Gear and Loki came out on my birthday, I'd be fucking stoked.
Yeah.
Right? I'm here for it.
But yeah, so Madrid, how do you feel about Guilty Gear getting pushed back?
I'm actually happy for this. I feel like this is a good move. One, it kind of puts it out of the way of like some other games that I want to kind of like burn through.
Nier, Monster Hunter.
Yeah. But more like, most importantly, they have time to like work on and polish like the lobby system and the server. Those are like the 2 main points that you got out of it, which I didn't even fill out this survey because I knew that people were going to be on their ass about those things. Like the server, like when you're inside of the match and it loads up, like it ran well, but there's still different like connectivity issues, which this seems to be one thing that they're working out in the lobbies. I'm sure they're about to add the rematch, like, and hopefully streamline that shit and make it more simple. Like it doesn't have to be that head ass, especially for like you just want to match make. Who knows? Maybe they took feedback from like people. Maybe they'll reach out to like certain people in the FGC or whatever and kind of see what the people really want and kind of lean into that more so than this run around, hold up a broomstick and try and matchmake and fight. So I'm actually glad to hear this. Also, they can work on some other things on the back end with like little bugs and shit. So this is actually for the best.
All right. So, I mean... There are 2 more stories I want to talk about. We've already been going for like an hour plus, but the people are here for the fucking chaos and for the fucking energy. So, Deontay, buy these ducks. I sent you the fucking link, bro. Like, you can't be the duck guy and not have the ducks.
Those ducks have been purchased. The pair Mandarin ducks, they're gone.
Fuck.
Yeah.
See, you could have been the one to have bought the pair of Mandarin ducks.
Yeah. Also, specifically taking care of Mandarin ducks is way more expensive than taking care of like Peking ducks or some shit.
All right, bro. Well, that website, they're California based, so
I do eventually, once I get more financially stable, I'm going to get a Mandarin, and that's going to be my homie.
well, you can get yourself a quick little mallard to hold yourself over until then.
Yo, I saw a mallard when I was at work today. Not today, but like yesterday. I was delivering to a house because and I always see crows, and I've said this in PlayStation Party. I feel like the crows are out there protecting me. It's a long story, but whenever I see a group of crows, I feel kind of comfortable. And I saw these crows, and normally crows don't get out of my way, but this one time they flew on top of it, and I thought it was weird. They got all the way out of my way. And I delivered to the house, and as I was coming out, I heard her, and I looked to my left, and these 2 ducks were flying away, and one of them was mallard. So clean. And I was like, I got it. The crows led me to ducks. They know what I wanted. They knew. They knew it was in my heart, and they said, we have a gift for you.
Was that gift a 4K capable OLED 7-inch screen Switch?
No, it was just a peek at a mallard. But if I can see a mallard OLED capable Switch, I would be so amazed.
Well, yeah. So, Nintendo, there are rumors going around today that there's going to be a new Switch model by the end of 2021 that will be 4K capable when docked. It'll have a 7-inch screen, and it'll be a OLED 720p display, similar to the display on the Vita, just bigger.
It's the so-fabled, quote-unquote, Switch Pro.
I mean, we're still not sure. Rumors are still circulating about it. There's still, Kotaku and Wario64 and pretty much, a bunch of other news outlets are starting to report on it, but nobody has, a fucking rendered model of it or anything like that yet. We don't, but, I mean, it makes sense with the timing of everything, because if
Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus drops 2022. If they have it out holiday 2021, are able to sell enough units of it, honestly, I might not even
goes. Pokemon has been behind the curve for the last 2 generations, so
has it?
Kind of. I mean, look. So Pokemon has a great ability of making. Oh, not Pokemon. I'm sorry. Nintendo has a great ability of making their games look amazing on Nintendo systems. But as far as resolution output, you know what I mean? Like, the Wii was still using regular XD in the HD era, and now we're in the 4K era, and Switch is still using they're still running 1080 at most when docked, 720.
Yeah, handheld.
Not much can run 4K.
The PS4 Pro. We're at the point that the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X, the PS5, we're getting at a generation and a half of the other 2 of the big 3 running their games at 4K.
Okay, but I still feel with this console, they're gonna more so lean into how the games run as opposed to how they look. Because I feel like the biggest problem with Arceus is gonna be frame rate and shit like that.
Yeah, because Breath of the Wild had frame rate issues as a fucking launch title.
Right. The Wildlands.
I would be perfectly honest. I'm hearing a bunch of things that most things don't run at actually 4K. Even PS5, even the new consoles don't run at 4K.
There's a couple of games that are running at 2440 that are being upscaled. Stuff like that. But
there's a lot of things that say
even
can run at 4K.
Nintendo is not doing anything at 2440 that's being upscaled either. You know what I mean? They're still running 720p shit that's being upscaled to 1080.
Right. But
So
at
even
the
in
same
that sense,
time,
they're
their
so
art
behind.
style is what's keeping them alive.
But think
once
about
again,
third-party
Frame Rate suffered
games.
for that because
Yeah.
we mentioned even the first party, as amazing as Breath of the Wild looked, it suffered from frame rate drops like crazy.
It did.
And third party games, we even look at how trailers of Apex Legends looks on Switch right now, and that shit looks like garbage.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that's what the Switch needs right now for third-party and first-party games. Just throw more fucking power at these titles, let them run at a higher frame rate, let them run at a higher resolution, and you'll be fucking good. Like, if
we don't necessarily need the visuals, but like definitely like the way the game feels and the way the game runs.
We don't need the visuals. We need the performance.
Exactly.
Every
really all
Mario
it is.
game is gonna look amazing. Dead ass. Every Mario game.
Fucking tech demos.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a matter of if these other companies can utilize technology the same way that the main Nintendo company does, because somehow, no matter what, Mario games look fucking amazing.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, my Switch has basically gotten to the point that I'm getting ready for it to be a Monster Hunter machine. Like, I've played Generations Ultimate. Rise is coming out. Rise, they've pretty much almost 100% confirmed that it's getting a PC release. But the only thing that'll keep me from, like, abandoning the Switch version and going to PC would be, like, if it's running docked 4K 60 FPS on a Switch, I'll stick with that save data and play it like that. Like, I wish we would get a PlayStation version of it or an Xbox version, like something a bit more capable. But if the Switch gets a model that is more capable of running Monster Hunter Rise, which legitimately, like, is the Switch game that I am the most excited for, then I've been, like, outside of, I'd say, any Switch game. Monster Hunter Rise is the most hyped I've been for any Switch game ever. And so, for me, like, you guys know I care about my resolution. Like, I'm caring more and more about frame rate as, like, the PS5 generation goes on. That is a game that I just want a more capable system to play it on. Like, 720p handheld, whatever. I'm not playing fucking Monster Hunter handheld. Like, that's just not my fucking vibe. That is not my thing. But if it's running 4K docked, huh?
That's the way we used to have to.
Yeah, I know, and I couldn't get into Monster Hunter.
Giving myself goddamn arthritis in the finger.
Yeah, like, I didn't get into Monster Hunter then. Like, it took Monster Hunter coming to PS4, a system that I was playing on, running well. Like, I had it in frame rate optimized mode. I still have it in frame rate optimized mode when I boot it up occasionally on my PS5 to play it. But, yeah, that's a game that could benefit from this hardware. And, like, I know other third-party titles, there's other shit that's on the Switch that people are going to want to be able to run at 4K. The new Breath of the Wild, like, whenever we get news about the sequel to Breath of the Wild, whenever we get news about Metroid Prime 4, whenever we get news about Bayonetta 3, all of these games are games that would benefit from being on more powerful hardware than the current Switch is.
Did you say Astral Chain 2? Because fuck yeah.
Astral Chain 2. I'll give you that one, Madrid. You know, we can all dream. Monster Hunter Rise, we have a release date. Metroid Prime 4 and Astral Chain 2, we don't.
You got a whole Scarlet Nexus coming. That's your Astral.
Scarlet Nexus, you know, that Bandai Namco gonna do what Bandai Namco gonna do.
For when it goes on sale, like it's gonna be a solid ass Golden Week sale game, you know.
You know it will go on sale just because Bandai.
Yeah, Bandai Namco. I like. If I'm not balling at the time of release, I'm just gonna fucking buy Bandai Namco games on sale because that's. I was balling when My Hero 1's Justice 1 came out, but I'm waiting on that solid deal on My Hero 1's Justice 2. Yeah, I bought that and the Jump Force Ultimate Edition. But like,
why? Why are you out here making these decisions, bro?
I'm not making those decisions right now.
You're
I
a
made those
podcast host.
decisions
You're
when I
supposed
had
to
more
be
money than I knew what to
good
do
decisions.
with.
Like you, are you doing it so the people don't have to?
Sure, yeah, we'll say that.
Those two hurt me, bro. Like I love Bandai Namco, and I would fucking touch those with a 10-foot, especially Jump Force,
I knew it was bad. I knew what I was getting.
That first beta hit, and that second beta kind of hit, and then I was like, nah.
Yo, I couldn't deal with like the hyper realistic looking anime characters. Looked weird.
Yeah, they all look dumb.
Yeah, the whole art. The only thing about that game that is good is Yoruichi's in it. That's the only good thing about that game. I will acknowledge that. I'm not saying
your favorite anime characters happen to meet each other in New York. Like this game.
Luffy's taking the gang to Popeyes.
Hey guys, you gotta check out this sandwich.
Meanwhile, use case at churches, like, nah, fuck that. Churches, nigga.
Zoro gets lost.
This is why the fight starts.
All right, so the last story I want to talk about is more serious than anything else we've covered. Chris, don't worry, we're going to do our Final Fantasy 14 check-in. Don't worry, Chris. You can breathe easy. I just want to get this kind of heavy story so we don't end on a heavy-ass story.
That's fair.
So, Zombie Kills, prolific Twitch streamer, YouTuber, Twitter personality, just like internet awesome black lady, you know. She was raided this past week. Not raided in a good way, swatted. People called the SWAT team on her in her home while she was streaming to try, because she's just been dealing with harassment. Like, she's one of the faces of when black content creators get shit. Like, I know, like, for the most part, we have a good community and we don't have the spotlight to a level that people are coming into our chat calling us slurs and stuff like that. But
we don't have to deal with the typical like Twitch harassment that a lot of these content creators have to, like, that's their daily. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, just all these like sites and like locations, they're just steadily being attacked simply for like being there, occupying space and trying to like raise awareness for these situations. It's a fucking shame, honestly. Because if we're being a buck, like, swatting should be a fucking attempted murder.
Yeah,
it is. No. It's an actual offense. Like, that's an actual crime. Like
you,
people have already gone to jail over it.
Exactly. Like that shit is fucking serious. Like those police officers, those SWAT team members have no problem going into your house and fucking killing everybody there because for whatever reason we felt like we were in danger.
Right, somebody in my Twitch chat decided to be fucking toxic. And so now, like, we were talking about in the PSN party the other night of, like, the SWAT team threw a flashbang into somebody's baby's crib while the baby was asleep, and this baby is dealing with permanent damage for the rest of his fucking life because the SWAT team had the wrong fucking house.
Imagine you send that to a black person's house where somebody could feel threatened simply because of how many appear.
How many stories have we heard?
He was chilling in his house wearing a hoodie. She was in the kitchen holding a knife.
Bro, like, fucking Breonna Taylor. Like, dead ass. We
spent a whole summer, like, angry, protesting, rioting for these reasons. And
we spent multiple summers.
Since
2016.
This one was in the pandemic, though, so it had a little extra razzle.
This one
it did.
People were off. People were off. Like, people were off. It's like
people were in their house, forced to sit in what was going on.
So no one was able to go to where. So all of a sudden, people had time to go outside and protest.
Yeah,
and that's why
they were sitting in what was going on, and they said, "Oh, this shit ain't right," and I don't have a fucking job to tell me
between that
to distract me what's going on.
Between George Floyd and everything that had happened leading up to, we had just story after story after story. Understandably, it was too much for people, but I want people to remember that feeling they had moving like deadass, because shit hasn't healed, shit hasn't gotten better. So
right, and honestly, like the fact that people are being swatted, like the fact that she just got swatted because she's a black woman on Twitch.
Right.
Like stuff like this is the fucking like epitome of like, yeah, like innocent people minding their fucking business are now being put in danger of fucking losing their lives over random bullshit, like
right, over white fragility. Like,
also,
how are you so offended by somebody taking up space?
Also want to call out, like, especially now that fucking Biden's in office, like, white Democrats, this isn't fucking a fucking time to, like, chill out. He ain't changing shit. Things are still going to happen the way they've been happening. Like, you still got to be, if you are considered or want to be considered an ally, you still got to be on your job and do your fucking, like, part.
And like I've said it before, now, we don't need allies. We need accomplices. Like, we need you to fucking step your fucking game up. Like, you don't have to worry about Trump out here fighting you, but Biden's not exactly going to be in a position or going to do anything that's going to further the efforts that people have been making.
Kids are still in cages. Biden's still. You still got a politician that's putting kids in cages. This is the same shit. You still have to do what you need to do to progress America to where we need it to be. So there's no laxing right now, just because we have a Democrat in office.
Right, and go support Zombie Kills. One thing I will say is, like, Zombie Kills got specifically a lot. She regularly gets this bullshit. Go give her a follow on Twitter. Like, that's completely free. Go subscribe to her on YouTube. That's completely free. If you have money to give towards somebody directly affected by, like, fucking internet racism, like, go subscribe to her on Twitch. Go fucking donate some money.
Cash App a black woman. Happy Women's History Month as well. Go Cash App a woman. Go Cash App a black woman.
Don't understand how important this is to support this creator, specifically because this has already happened. It's already news, which means that more people like the person who swatted her will gravitate to her to give her negative energy, because they feel like, because this is news, this is a target.
Right, go be a positive fucking force in the gaming community. Like, we have so many of us who aren't fucking psychos, who aren't pieces of shit. Like, we need to start showing more of the effort of people like us who just try and highlight positivity. We try and fucking bring in smaller voices and, like, amplify people. Like, just more people in the gaming industry, us included. Like, there's stuff we aren't doing that we possibly could do, but I feel like
if you know people in the gaming industry who are out there garbage, who are out there being shitty,
snitch. That's the one time it's acceptable to snitch.
Let me know what they are, and I will fight them.
Yeah. Sick Deontay's. If they are in the fucking Bay Area and they're being pieces of shit, Deontay will take care of them.
I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna catch him in line at Panda Express. I'm gonna give him the hands.
What's up? Yo, if they're out here, I'm gonna catch him slipping in Publix parking lot. What's good?
Right? Yeah. If they're in Atlanta with the all the cheesy boys, we gonna fucking
throwing down at Publix is the shit, bro.
Shit.
Like, I went to like 3.
I didn't know we could afford Publix
I was looking at the parking lot. I was like, this layout is perfect for a fight. Like,
it's straightforward. There's no curve. There's no. It's just all right there, laid out flat.
Mm-hmm.
The cars.
And you got somebody who'll take out your cart for you.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna record it for the third view.
They only get paid so much.
You got Whole Foods out here. You can't be fighting a lot of the Whole Foods. They'll tase you for being black, even if you aren't the aggressor.
I mean, they get paid $16 an hour. They're fine.
All right.
Wait.
Yeah,
Is that
they
enough
do
to give a
actually
fuck?
pay
Is $16 an hour enough to give a fuck about two people fighting in your
$100
parking?
an hour.
Is
I'm not
that the
about
pay
to give a
limit
fuck.
where
thing
you would
is,
care about two
If
motherfuckers
you
fighting in the
walk
parking
away
lot?
from that fight scene, you're still getting paid $16.
Right.
Heck, you're getting paid $16 to record that fight scene and put that shit on World Star like it's 2003.
Like, don't get me started on the dudes at In-N-Out Burger. They get paid nice.
Do
Like,
they?
They get paid nice at In-N-Out Burger.
Yo, not a hot take, but In-N-Out does not slap.
Yo,
I
hot
will
take,
stand by their
In-N-Out
burgers.
slaps.
I will cut somebody for a double, but I can't defend their fries.
Yo,
Bro, their fries are
are
fucking
okay.
garbage.
Y'all are making me hungry.
I mean,
and it's
In-N-Out
almost
burger,
midnight.
I found out why their fries are trash. They
Why?
use sunflower oil.
Fuck that shit. That
Right.
ain't a high smoke point.
Oh, it's not.
All right. Well, so
animal style, I will live and breathe by that motherfucker.
Animal style is good shit.
That's good shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. You don't eat meat. Get out of this conversation.
Them shit's not good. They're not good. You want it for the shit that's on the fries, not the fries.
I live in the South, so I don't get In-N-Out
Somebody
ever.
argue with me when I was talking about the animals, when I was talking about In-N-Out's fries. They're like, you have to get them animal style. Look, if I have to dress up my fries in order for them to be good, they're not good.
Hey,
Yeah.
Future said it best.
But-
Dress it up and make it look real for me.
all right. So the last thing
Whatever that
we're
fucking
gonna end on a bit more positive note. Chris,
Yo,
we're doing our Final Fantasy 14 check-in.
let's fucking go.
I made it to Stormblood. I'm out here doing my job quest. If I look back at my playtime, this is from earlier today. Since then, I've played a couple more hours. But
You
for
fiend.
anybody who plays Final Fantasy 14, you can type /playtime into the chat, and it'll give you how long you've played the game. And this is regardless of platform, whether you played some on PlayStation, played some on PC, whatever. Like, you don't have to rely on the Steam clock. You don't have to rely on the PlayStation like game clock. So I put it in, and this is earlier today. It's still relatively close. I have played 5 days, 14 hours, and 25 minutes. And probably since then, I'll probably play the extra hour. So 5 days, 15 hours, 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, Chris, you typed yours in.
I'm at 16 days, 11 hours, and 47 minutes.
All right. And Jalen, you put yours in.
Wait. I currently just got mine updated because I still have the game running.
Are you
I'm at
kidding me?
17 days. Huh? I mean, I'm going to be 100 here. I've been leveling up Culinarian this entire time.
I could just
This
be playing
entire time.
14 while I'm just fucking.
No,
on this-
what? Do I need to
This
put a
entire
rule in
fucking
place
time.
of nobody play Final Fantasy 14 while we're recording?
Some real Justin ass shit.
I
That's
really
what
thought
I
about
said.
playing
You
14
know.
right now.
See, but this is why I was doing Culinarian, because I could just set to make myself 99 cookies, click it, and leave it. And I just get all that experience. I might have went up like 10, almost 15 some odd levels so far.
Okay, so what is
But
your
I'm at
current
17
count?
days, 14 hours, and 21 minutes. That's how long I played this game.
Motherfucker.
All right, so yeah, I made
would
it.
like to say that I'm surprised that I'm so close to Jalen because Jalen is what?
Actually, I'm not surprised.
You are the one who told me about this game a year before I started playing this game.
Yes, but you are almost current in Shadowbringers, and I don't even have Shadowbringers.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh yeah, I
And
made it to
also, I have a
Stormblood.
wider, like, the amount of classes that I have leveled, like, my total amount of leveled classes is probably higher than yours.
Also, probably fair. My red mage is only 58.
Okay, well yeah, I am
Wait,
level
what classes- actually,
66.
Chris, what classes do you have unlocked other than red mage and black mage?
That's it. Red mage and black.
There we go.
Yeah, I have warrior and samurai. My warrior is 66. My samurai is 52. I'm in Stormblood. I'm like legitimately. I just beat like the first. I made it to the first aetheryte crystal that's hidden behind the rocks, like by the like concealing spell.
Reach.
Yeah. So I made it there, and I did all the shit there, and now they're trying to have me go out into like the wilderness surrounding it, but I got like the first 2 quests. I picked them up, and then I went and started doing my my job quests because I'm so considerably over leveled. I was trying to get new equipment and stuff. Like I was like, all right, I beat Heaven's Sword. It is time to fucking do some of this shit I've been procrastinating on. So I went to the market board and bought all new gear for my warrior. So I just
wait. You have tomes, right?
Yeah, but the stuff that I've been buying for tomes, like the Shire gear and stuff, was weaker than the stuff I got off the market board.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because actually, if you go to Mordona, yes, but if you go to Idleshire,
no,
you'll get the stuff that it should be around your level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that stuff is level 60 stuff that I'm like capped out on for Tomes of Poetics, but the stuff I got from the board is level 66.
Oh, you are level 66. You're already over leveled for fucking Stormblood.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm getting. No, I went to the market board. Yeah, I went to the market board and just got shit for level 66 that was considerably over leveled for the stuff that I could get for Tomes of Poetics. Like, just from the shit that I've unlocked, like the story that I've done so far. So I just went and bought head to toe gear and just overdid that shit. Like, I've been getting gear from the story that I've just been like, fuck it, I'm picking up the samurai gear because the warrior gear is 30 plus like defense lower than what I'm using currently that I got off the market board.
Yo, I do want to talk about something that I kind of unlocked today. I don't know if you guys actually level up your grand company at all.
I did accidentally. I did a lot.
I mean, Madrid said no, and that was me going into all of literally all of the game. I hadn't upgraded my grand company until now. I wanted to rank. I'm highest rank now.
Oh shit!
Because so you know the hunting log. Everybody knows the hunting log to level up between 1 and 20, and then Final Fantasy kind of got rid of that, and then brought in the hunt. And the hunt is what is your new hunting log, which you have each hunt dailies that will give you like experience, new currency for like dope ass armor and weapons that you can't get anywhere else unless you do hunts in this like thing. So I'm doing like Heaven's Ward for my red mage because I'm almost level 60, and I'm getting like a bunch of currency that I'd never gotten before, looking at these armor sets that I've never seen before and being like, holy shit. Also getting like 35,000 to between 45,000 experience for each hunt that I'm doing while DPS queuing for my dailies. So I'm like, I leveled 5 times today just doing hunts in my dailies. Like, if you're trying to do your second class and you're really trying to upgrade that, I would unlock hunts. I would upgrade your grand company and actually give a shit for a second. And fucking just like start doing that, because I know levy quest or whatever, however you say it.
Leave quest.
Leave quest, they give you like maybe 10,000 per quest, but like literally you're doing your hunting vlog on your dailies, but they're giving you 35 to 45,000, and that's pretty much like there's first class, there's second class, and there's third class. I haven't even unlocked third class because I'm not at the level yet. Third class gives you higher than 45,000, so you're getting almost dungeon level boss experience just for killing a monster 3 times.
All right,
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just trying to put y'all on. If you're trying to upgrade a second job, that you need to unlock hunts, and you can get dope gear, you can get really good experience, and I mean Gil also, because Gil is tight, and I'm trying to hoard Gil to buy an apartment because.
Wait, actually, speaking of that, how much are the apartments? Because I want
apartments are $500K.
That's okay.
But if you are in Gilgamesh, you are never going to get an apartment. We're going to move to another server.
Wait, I think I live on Midgar Summer. I think I'm from Midgar Summer, so let me check that.
That's tight. I'm going to move to Adamantois, and hopefully no one likes the turtle company. And I can.
Well, let me look into it for you. When we get off the podcast, which will be happening in the next few minutes, let me look on Adamantois for you.
I mean, I just want to be able to like look into a place or like a server that mostly everybody spends time on, and be like, maybe the apartment could be a meetup point, and we talk about some shit and like figure out what we want to do and run some savages or whatever.
Well, yeah,
I really want to be the group.
Our Final Fantasy characters in the apartment. We'll turn the apartment into a studio, and we run this podcast visually through the game. That's what we do.
That'd be so tight. I just really want to be able to like be like, yo guys, you want to run some savages or some crazy ass raids that MGQ is doing, or fucking Lowry, whatever the fuck, the guy who says what is your job. And I watch a lot of YouTube on this 14 shit. I just want to be doing cool dope shit with my friends in 14.
All right. Well, remember, you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. You can find me on Twitter at Anton6Chris.
Doing dope shit with my friends at 14 at twitter.com. At Chef and Chris.
Jalen.
Squid Bishop. Everywhere.
Perfect. Madrid.
Speedwagon X.
All right, Deontay, where can people find you and the rest of the Rupee Gang?
Well, you can find me.
If our listeners aren't already tired. But, you know, you're TikTok famous, so...
Right. All right. You can find me at anywhere. 13Cross, spell it out.
Don't be lazy.
Rusty Rupees. Don't be lazy. Rusty Rupees everywhere, except for Twitter. It's Rusty with 2 Y's on Twitter, because Twitter is some hoes.
Amen.
Yeah.
They haven't missed some hoes for us. But yeah, remember the...
We literally are missing the last E.
Oh yeah, we are. That is true. But you know, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com has our Twitter link, so you can just click it there.
Right.
This has been a No It's Good production. The video version is edited by Lana Twisted Mind. The audio version is edited by Akumasanti. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
Obligatory stay rusty, I guess. All right.